Hey gang, tonight I have, well, it's nighttime here. I don't know when this thing's going to drop, but it might drop today. We could say today, tonight, right now. I have breaking news. I have a new book review. I finally had enough time to finish this book that I've been reading for several months now. And the book is called Living with Crossdressing, Defining a New Normal. It's written by a young crossdresser, male to female crossdresser named Savannah Hawk, calls herself Savannah Hawk. And basically the book is a look inside the minds of non-transitioning crossdressers and the women who love them. So it's a great book for you if you're a crossdresser, and also a partner, spouse, that you might be thinking about coming out to, or you have already come out to them. They're encouraging, maybe, but they would like to know if there's other spouses out there that would want to talk to them, things like that. So, and it is a well-written book. Okay, it's like 290 pages, so it's a long read, but there's a lot of information in it. And Savannah's got a good sense of humor. I think if you're in the transgender community at all, you got, if you don't have a sense of humor, you're not going to make it. One of the things that did bother me was that her differentiation between crossdressers and transgender people, and yet she then in another section talks about her sadness when her partner doesn't refer to her in the feminine, with feminine pronouns, while she's cross-dressed. And so in one paragraph, one chapter, she says she's not transgender, she's a heterosexual male cross-dresser, and then the next one she says it bothers her when people don't refer to her as a woman when she's cross-dressed. So, by definition, if you call yourself a woman, you're not a cross-dresser. If you're wearing women's clothes and you call yourself a woman, you're not a cross-dresser. So, it's semantics, maybe, I don't know, but I think, I don't want to put words in her mouth. The book is good. It's a good book. She knows what she's talking about. I did notice what seemed like a little bit of the denial that so many men who want to present themselves as women face in not coming out or being completely honest with themselves about wanting to be a woman. They just continually say over and over and over again, I'm just a crossdresser, I'm just a crossdresser, I'm just a crossdresser. And basically I don't like the word just a crossdresser because it demeans crossdressers. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're down here in you're crossdressers, or to phrase it differently, men who wish to dress like women. And there's women that like to dress like men, but predominantly everything I talk about is men that want to be like women. But they make up, in my opinion, the lion's share of the transgender community. When you're out in society, when you're out in public with 100 men dressed as women, and within that group, there's a subgroup of people who are on hormones and people who have gone fully transitioned and had all the surgeries, and there's like one or two of them in a group of 100 men dressed as women, and there's maybe 5 or 10 or 15 women on hormones, trans women on hormones that haven't transitioned yet. So in my opinion, the general public is going to look at the whole group and figure we're all together, so we might as well be all together. You know what I mean? it's all transgender behavior. It's all cross-gender behavior, but it's still a good book. And if you're new to cross-dressing, or you're trying to figure out where your feelings lie on the spectrum, or you're trying to do some self-awareness, some self-diagnosis, or you want your spouse to understand you better, it's a good book. It'll do the job. Okay, it's not necessarily a book for someone like me. If I didn't do book reviews, I wouldn't have read it. But it's I don't need any more advice on living with cross-dressing, because my wife has been living with it for 31 years. But for me and for a lot of other people out there, it's a good read and it's worth the money. And she's on Facebook, the Savannah Hawk. I think we're actually Facebook friends, although we don't speak too often. We don't chat. But, it's a good book. I think you should get it. It's available on Amazon. I got mine on Amazon. I got it on my tablet. And it is called, once again, I will show it to you, Living with Cross-Dressing by Savannah Hawk. Anybody read that? So I'm going to give it on my rating system. I'm going to give it I'm not a professional literary critic, so I don't want someone not to buy this book because of my review. I guess I would have, it is well written, and it is insightful, and it has a lot of information in it, and it has a lot of stories in it from real people who are living with this issue. So I'm going to have to give it a 5-inch heel. Yep, 5-inch heel. So, Living with Cross-Dressing, Defining a New Normal. Rachel Rollins gives it a 5-inch heel. Love and peace to all. Let's just try to accept one another for who they are. Am I going to hit the button?